Among those missing the COP26 is Chinese President Xi Jinping. He has a lot on his plate, of course. Expansionism is a full-time job. Plus, the homegrown virus refuses to go away. Lanzhou city has been put under strict lockdown in China, a city of 4 million people with rising Wuhan virus cases. Then we have a debt bomb exploding, one company at a time. Evergrande, like we told you, was just the beginning. Another company has defaulted on its loans today. It is called Modern Land China. This company is based in Beijing. It builds energy-saving homes. Modern Land was supposed to pay back $250 million today. It failed. The company has neither paid the principal nor the interest. Modern Land is not as big as Evergrande, but it is showing similar symptoms of distress. Reports say Modern Land tried everything to avoid a default. It attempted disinvestment. It tried borrowing from other sources. It sought strategic investment. Nothing has worked. So Modern Land becomes the latest company to enter the list of defaulters. The crisis has become so big now that even China's state mouthpieces cannot brush it under the carpet anymore. The Global Times published this piece today, the one that you see on your screen. It says a couple of more Chinese real estate developers could default next. So they say that it is growing. Now, had the defaults been limited to real estate, it wouldn't have been such a big deal. But the Chinese economy is witnessing defaults across the board, not just the property market. Look at this chart. It lists China's offshore bond defaults since last year. What does that mean, offshore bond defaults? Offshore means money owed to creditors outside China. And default, of course, is not being able to pay back those loans. Since 2018, these defaults have almost tripled. In 2018, Chinese borrowers defaulted on more than $3 billion worth of offshore bonds. $3 billion. 3 years later, these defaults have jumped to almost $9 billion. Real estate companies account for just 1/3 of this debt. The rest belongs to other sectors. And even those numbers do not describe the full extent of China's crisis. Investment bank Goldman Sachs has uncovered another ticking time bomb in the Chinese economy. It is not a private company. It is the Chinese government itself. It's the biggest problem. Local governments in China owe more than $8 trillion. You heard that right. I will repeat that figure. $8 trillion. This is way bigger than Evergrande. This debt pile is around 52% of China's GDP. Double the size of a country like Germany. $8 trillion. This money financed China's infrastructure boom. Cities race to build skyscrapers, 6-lane highways, international airports, hotels, stadiums, shopping districts, amusement parks. China built all of them. Local governments borrowed heavily for all these projects. Even Beijing may not know about the true extent of this debt because China does not have an official account of it. It's not in the books. Beijing does not keep a record of the hidden borrowings by local governments. And there's a reason for that. Technically, this borrowing is against the law, but the Communist Party has chosen to look the other way, since it was a tool to finance its boom. So they allowed these hidden borrowings. Now, these local governments could be set up for failure. Back in the month of May, Beijing issued a new order. It said that there will be no bailouts for local governments. So either these debts would fail or they'll be restructured. Foreign investors are already losing faith in Chinese bonds. Japan's government pension fund will not include the yuan-dominated Chinese sovereign debt in its portfolio. And this is the world's largest government pension fund we are talking about. It's worth almost $2 trillion. And they say they do not trust bonds issued by the Chinese government anymore. Other countries may want to pay attention. They should consider deleveraging themselves from Chinese investments. Otherwise, the Chinese debt virus could infect them too when China's financial pandemic begins. And it's a matter of when, not if anymore. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.